Hello, everyone. So, as you can see, I am standing here, a broken man. Damn bloody Norris! Actually, I need to get a chat up as well, just for anyone who joins. So, if you have no idea what's going on, I said McLaren would get a 1-2 in Bahrain. And let's get real, that is exactly what should have happened. Norris locked up trying to get past Leclerc, spent another, what, four-ish laps trying to get past him. Then on the final lap, again tried it round the outside of turn one. My gosh, how did he fumble it so hard? Right, let me get up the chat so I can start this. So what does that mean? Well, you can't see it here, but I've got the exercise bike ready to go. And you're in for a long one, everyone watching here. You're in for a really long one because I will be live for 98 minutes. Not 98 minutes. I'll be on this bike for 98 minutes. So let me get up my stream, because for some reason I wasn't even logged into my account. And let's get this rolling. Oh my gosh. Hopefully everyone's doing all right today. Uh, let me just double check that you can actually hear me as well. Yeah, you can. Okay, sweet. Right, before I start, I'll show you guys a little present. Come here, little kitty. We have the baby bear sitting here with me as well. Everyone say hi to Bear. Hello, Mr. Bear. You want to watch me do this? Hopefully you can see him. Oh, a little good fella. Right. He'll probably be pestering me for dinner once this is all done. But right, Alexa, set an alarm for 90 in an hour and 38 minutes time.
1 hour 38 minutes alarm set for 4:13 p.m.
Right, we've got that going. I'll also get one. hello, Fraser. You are about to watch me endure some mad pain trying to do this. I'm going to get the clock up on my phone as well. Right, I need to get the chat wider. I know I can read that from there. Right, so let me get OBS on that side. OBS on that side as well. Oh, we are looking perfect, everyone. Okay, a bit of music in here. It's on about halfway here. So I need. It's been about, all right, cool. 1 hour and 36. We're good to go. Oh, all right. I see how it is. I know Bear's the, what's it called? He's the star of the channel, to be fair. Everyone loves him. Well, actually, what you guys don't know as well is he's actually the brains behind every single thing. He makes my scripts, he makes my YouTube shorts, he does everything. It's actually him who goes on the fan and videos. They just get an AI version of me over Bear, because if everyone knew that a cat was talking F1 fantasy, it would blow people's minds. So yeah, he really is the brains behind it all. But yeah, let me get my hair out of my way because this is doing my head in. And we're in for a long one. Hopefully, I don't run out of breath too quickly. Because normally, I'm pretty decent with cardio. You know what I mean? I can normally, I normally only do like half an hour stints. So basically triple that. I will be sweating, but luckily I didn't show this, but I've got some water over here as well. Stay hydrated and all, so it should be good fun. You can't see this as well, but Bear is now licking his balls. So this is what you get with him sometimes. I mean, he was licking his balls in the which one was it? The not the Bahrain, the Japan. Everything you need to know. Who do you think Max drives for next season? I wonder if you retire. Well, that's the issue, isn't it, Fraser? Because like people keep on talking about him going to Mercedes, but then what was the point in bringing Antonelli this season? Because is it Russell that would leave? But then where would Russell go? Because let's get real, right? Red Bull, he's already there. Ferrari, They ain't getting rid of Hamilton and Leclerc anytime soon. They've both been doing well-ish, considering what they've been through with Ferrari. I say that Hamilton's only been there for like 4 months and he's already been through so much. But I think that's quite safe for Behrman to get that seat as well, because Behrman's been doing really well once Hamilton retires. So no room at Ferrari. Then Mercedes, again, there's no room at Ferrari, and I don't think Russell would go over to Red Bull. So then there's no room at Mercedes, because again, while they get rid of Antonelli, he's been looking really promising. So then it comes down to, well, would Fernando Alonso retire, or better yet, would the Aston Martin pull? If Verstappen went to Aston Martin, not really the Aston Martin pull, the Verstappen pull, would Verstappen being like, yo, I want to drive with Adrian Newey, I'll come over to Aston Martin, give some megabucks, would that be enough for them to finally sack off Lance Stroll? I think so. So if he did go somewhere else, let me turn this down. If he did go somewhere else, I think it would be Aston Martin. But that's about it. I don't think there's anyone else. Unless we get some crazy like Alpine resurgence this season, and then he wants to go somewhere like that. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, that's what I was thinking originally, but I would be surprised if Alonso left before 2026. Maybe he could join Aston, like maybe he could do what Vettel did, not obviously to Aston, but stays at Red Bull in 2026. It doesn't really go right for him after the new reg changes, then move over to Aston when Alonso retires. Or yeah, maybe it will be enough to pull away Lance Stroll from the team if they could bring in Alonso and Max Verstappen. That would be absolutely ridiculous. Max is going where he thinks he can win, or yeah, and that's the issue. So it very much could be a he's done with the sport sort of thing. He might be pushed. Whoa, that would be crazy if Red Bull just all of a sudden turned around and went, "Yeah, nah, we're done with you." Because think about what that would mean. They would then have. They're not bad drivers. I love Yuki, but considering what the second seat has done for a Red Bull driver so far, they'd have what Yuki and Hadjar, or potentially if he was pushed out. This is the thing, isn't it? Because no one wants to go Red Bull, even if Verstappen. Oh right, I see. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, see, I'd be surprised if they kicked Alonso. I think it'd be Stroll who'd finally get the kick. Because you're telling me, I get it. Lance Stroll's your dad. Not your dad. Lance Stroll's your son. But if Max went, if you could have a pairing of Alonso and Max Verstappen, you're telling me they would kick out Alonso instead. I mean, let's get real. It very easily could happen. But I feel so bad for Alonso. Unless they did like a swap thing. Yeah. Unless they did like a swap thing and Alonso went to Red Bull. Imagine that. Alonso resurgence 2026 Red Bull. Oh gosh. Yeah, it's going to be interesting seeing what that happens. But I think to be fair as well, Bahrain was a bit of a miss for Red Bull anyway. I think they'll be back-ish. When I mean back, I mean fighting with Verstappen for a podium around Jeddah. Because that first sector, again, is very much driver. It's like the first sector in Japan, which is when Verstappen's really good because it's just the driver just going boom, 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 sort of thing. So we'll see if that happens, but we'll see. It's great how it's going to be so easy to talk right now, but I can already feel the back sweat coming on. That's the worst bit. And for anyone wondering what the settings are, so I don't actually got any batteries in this bad boy. Like to see what my speed and distance is and all that bollocks. But there's a setting of 1 to 8. I'm on 4, so I should be fine. Alexa, how much longer is on my timer?
in 1 hour 28 minutes and 58
There we go.
seconds.
So she lied. It's 1 hour. I've only been on this for 10 minutes. This is going to be long, isn't it? Carson, don't worry. Basically, again, I'm a McLaren fan, so I love Lando in realistically. But for the Bahrain Grand Prix, I said if McLaren do not get a 1-2, then I will have to go on my exercise bike for the full race length. And with Bahrain, the race was an hour and 38 minutes long. And of course, I wouldn't be sitting here right now if Lando could just overtake Leclerc, because then he would have got past Russell, plenty of time to go. I mean, if he could just overtake Russell as well. Yes, I'm not too happy with him at the minute just because of that. Oh, it was so easy. And also, on both my, on all three, I do 3 other predictions. I do the fan app predictions, I do fantasy GP predictions, which is another F1 fantasy, and the F1 predict. And I all put Piastri, Norris, Russell. And it was so on. It was so on. I genuinely don't know how we didn't manage it. It's just those overtakes on Leclerc. I get it's a bit hard to get like on the inside, but he could have set him up so much more. Yeah, yeah. No worries, Carson. Yeah, no, I do it. I do it for all of the drivers that make me lose forfeits. So, to be fair, I've only lost. Now it's the Australia one. Again, I was super close on that because I had Pierre Gasly to score points in Australia. I'll get to that in a second, Ozem. Yeah, Michael, I thought it'd be easier because this would take a lot of editing, and I thought, you know what? Why not? Just get it live, just get it done. And because you just joined, Michael, I'll do another timer. Alexa, how long left on the timer?
There are no timers set. You have one alarm. In 1 hour 26 minutes and 18 seconds.
We are 12 minutes in, so we've still got a long way to go. But yeah, Ozem, 100%. Also, Mike, you can't see it, but Bear's just there as well, underneath the shot. He's going to be asking me for food soon. What's it called? I think I could already take Lawson's spot. No, I'm kidding. Of course I couldn't. Have you seen this neck? Bear in mind, have you seen the F1 drivers? Like, they're like this. Wham! And then my neck is just like giraffe. Not a chance. I think I wouldn't even be able to fit into an F1 car as well. So I'm about 6'4", so I would a tight squeeze to say the least. I mean, considering what? Hey! Like maybe $5. Hang on. If I can just, I'm standing up. This is quite dangerous. Hang on. I'll like it. There we go. I liked it. Thank you. You know what? Because you gave $5, I up to the highest settings for the next 5 minutes. So when it gets to 1 hour and 20 left, I'll put it back down to 4. So at the minute it's on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Had it on 4. BBBO says, Magnet leaving Red Bull, way too loyal, won't just run away, not happening. Yeah, it depends. I don't even think it depends on what happens this year. I think it will be 2026, won't it? No, generally, because people have made the it's not exactly what happened with Vettel, but people have made the correlations from Red Bull didn't give Vettel a car that could win. He went up to Ferrari. So it could be the thing where come 2026, if Red Bull don't get the development right to be like the best car, the dog's product, then what's it called? then he could go to like an Aston. But like I was talking to Fraser earlier in the stream, what's it called? There's nowhere else than Aston, realistically. McLaren aren't getting rid of Norris and Piastri. Mercedes are quite happy with Russell and Antonelli, even though they talk about bringing in Verstappen. There's no room at the inn. They've just brought in their superstar, their next Verstappen-esque driver, and he's doing brilliant at the minute. He kind of got screwed over in Bahrain. I think we've got about 3 more minutes left of highest setting. And then, of course, you've got Georgie Boy. And at the minute, I think my driver ratings for this season so far is, honestly, it has to be Piastri first, because to be 2 points away from Norris, having a 9th, mistake away from being 10 plus points in the championship. Second for me is between Verstappen and George Russell. Who would you guys put? I'm leaning towards Russell for Mr. Consistency, but also I can see why Verstappen would be second best. So Piastri, I'll go Russell, then Verstappen, and then I can't be too harsh on Norris. He is leading the championship. Okay, yeah, there we go. Mike's gone for Verstappen over George. I thought it'd be quite tight, yeah. But then, where does Leclerc fit into it? Because I can't be mean to Norris too much. Like I said, he is still leading the championship. So, I think that deserves a 4th. But then, I feel bad. I guess Leclerc 5th. No, actually, scrap Leclerc. No, I don't know. Because then you could even put before Leclerc someone like a Behrman or a Gasly or even an Albon. So then you get into that middle ground and it gets to the point where it's like, who do you put in? Who would you guys put 5th? Because I think there is an argument for Leclerc, even Hamilton with a sprint race, Albon, Behrman, Ocon. Probably not Stroll anymore. He screwed up the last 2 races. Yeah, okay, yeah, I get it, Stuart, yeah. I think that's fair enough. Alexa, how much left on the alarm?
You have 1 hour and 21 minutes left.
Right, 1 more minute on the highest difficulty. Yeah, it's really hard to put them in order. I think, or has this gone for Behrman in 5th? Okay. You know, here's mine. Here's mine. Okay. Hamilton 5th, purely for the sprint race. Okay. No, not Hamilton 5th. Not Hamilton 5th. Albon 5th, Behrman 6th, Hamilton 7th, Ocon 8th. Then who would go there? Not Gasly, not Albon, not Hulkenberg, not Bottas, not Albon. I already used him. Meant Sainz. Who else has been a real star performer recently? You've got Hajar. Hajar's doing well, but I wouldn't put him in the top 10. Oh, of course, I completely forgot about Antonelli. My God, yeah, hang on. I completely forgot about him. Oh my God, hang on. That throws a spanner into it, doesn't it? Where would he fit? All right. So what did I say? I said my 5th was Albon, 6th Behrman, Hamilton 7th, Antonelli 8th. Wait, no. What did I say before? I'm forgetting. Because Antonelli has to go before one of them. Antonelli's been in the top 8 easily. Oh, that's a difficult one. Who could I move about? Oh, that's who I put. No. Okay, I'm happy to put Antonelli. So Albon 5th for me, Behrman 6th, Hamilton 7th, Antonelli 8th, and then Ocon 9th. That is really hard putting Ocon 9th, but no, I don't know. Am I putting Albon too high up? Potentially. But considering what Sainz has been doing. Then who else could be it? Yuki Tep got the call up to Red Bull. Does Yuki reach the top 10? Because I think the top final places of the top 10. Has there been any other rookies? Oh, hang on. Michael's put his top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Michael's top 7 is Piastri, Verstappen, Russell. Oh, there you go. Piastri, Verstappen, Russell. It's very similar there. Behrman, Antonelli, Ocon, Albon. No Hamilton, even after the sprint race win. Because I think he's done quite decent. It's one of those things, isn't it, where Hamilton's lost his qualifying. I think we just had to deal with that. But Bahrain was good, and obviously the sprint race. So I feel like you've got to put Hamilton at least in the top 10. But would you put him 8th, 9th? Hey, good stuff. Hey, yeah, because Hamilton's been pretty decent, considering. Oh, actually, talking about slightly different F1 Fantasy, right? Also, I'm back onto 4. Okay, that was all on the highest difficulty. Oh my God! Yeah, I forgot you hadn't put the blur. Wait, did I? No, did I put the? You know what? Because there have been really good performances from the midfield. Stewart's one is Piastri, Russell, Verstappen, Antonelli 4. Wow. Behrman, McLaren, Hamilton. Wait, it's a Stewart, so no Norris. Actually, Michael, you put no Norris as well. I feel like we're being too harsh on him. He still is leading the championship. But going on to F1 Fantasy, what's it called? I'm really looking forward to Jeddah, and our fan amp lot will be recording in about 3-4 hours, whatever the time is now. So that'll be nice to see. That'll be nice. We'll probably have it out tomorrow, whenever we normally have it out. I think it's normally 1-ish my time. So I don't know what time that is for everyone. But that's 12 to 1 British summer time. But yeah, because I was talking to F1 Fantasy Fuel, and he made a good point. Yeah, people. That's what I was about to talk about. That's what. So F1 Fantasy Fuel did bring that up, but someone else did. Limitless isn't actually a bad option there, which is absolutely crazy, and it starts to make me think. Okay, there are 3 options. You've got Limitless in Jeddah, which you would have bloody thought that was an option, but apparently 2024, compared to 2024 Jeddah to Miami, there wasn't actually that much of a difference in the Limitless teams sorts of things. Yeah, oh bloody hell, yeah, I'll get to that as well, Ozem. But what's it called? So you've got stick with the plan and go Piastri out. You take out Doohan for Bortoletto. You keep Ocon, Behrman, and Hadjar. But then if you do that these days, you kind of can't play Limitless now in Miami because you're not getting enough budget elsewhere, considering Bortoletto, Ocon, and technically Hadjar potentially could not get increases. So then you've got the other thing people are talking about, which is Piastri, Russell, Haas, and McLaren, which was what F1 Fantasy Fuel was talking about, because then he was talking about it, and I can't remember exactly what he said, but apparently, let's put up the settings a bit more. Apparently, yeah, Stuart, the fan amp one will be out tomorrow-ish, well, morning for me, but tomorrow will be the fan amp preview show. So you'll hear all of this again on that as well.
But yeah, no, right. So the Piastri Russell McLaren Mercedes build now looks not Mercedes. McLaren Haas build looks interesting because apparently you only lose about 10-15 points, 10 to 20 points. My bad. Each weekend where you're playing it, and obviously we're only playing it in Jeddah, so you'd lose 10 to 20 points, but you would gain almost like, I think it's almost 1 million on the McLaren, Piastri, Mercedes teams, and obviously then you've got the Limitless, and you gain even more. So now I'm thinking, if you play Limitless, you have to go back to having Haas in your team, but with Piastri and Russell. To use Russell as like just getting 0.1 million this weekend, so that you can then have that like almost guaranteed 0.6 million from Haas both weekends in Miami and in Jeddah. So there's a lot to think about. Oh my God, there's even differential talk as well. If you stick with Piastri, McLaren, Mercedes, if you've got your budget right, like me, I can now bring in Piastri, McLaren, Ferrari. So if Ferrari look good, all of a sudden, potentially, you might go, well, actually, screw the points. How many points did Ferrari get this weekend? They got like 70, 80 odd. You're like, I want to bring them in. And then all of a sudden, you go for those points. So there's a lot of different ways you could go. Right now, I'm thinking, I agree with F1 Fantasy Fuels to get Piastri, Russell, McLaren, Haas just for one weekend so that I can build some budget in Miami and still Limitless. But there's also the Limitless in Jeddah. There's also the differential with Ferrari. What if Norris looks good in FP1 and 2, 3? Then you could be like, oh, well, actually, I could decrease. If you've got enough, doing down to Bortoletto, Piastri up to Norris, if Norris looks good. You could also do Ocon down to Bortoletto for Norris. So there's a lot to think about, but I'm excited for it 100%. Yeah, I was thinking McLaren and Ferrari as a differential. Yeah, because I get, what's it called? Mercedes. Not the best weekend, considering even Russell got second place in Bahrain. Antonelli got really screwed over by that safety car. Antonelli would have... Where was Antonelli before? He was up there at least. He was definitely going to get in the top 7, top 8. So he got screwed over from that. So Mercedes would have got more points. My budget, Stuart, right now is 108.4. So I'm sitting pretty. That's also why I'm getting to the point where... I'm getting to the point in the season where I can start sitting on teams. So my plan is potentially Limitless in Miami. Then with those 2 transfers, I go Russell back to whatever cheap driver looks good for gaining budget. With Mercedes. And then I sit on it. I sit on it just building budget every weekend, taking out the B tier drivers that look bad, bringing in the B tier drivers that look good. And I think if you're over 106 million now, we're in a good position for what we say in the July races, like Silverstone-ish time, to be able to bring in 2 A-tier drivers, 2 A-tier constructors, and then that's it. You're good for the season. Unless you want to go for what Leapers sort of went for last year, which is going for free. Free A-tier drivers with 2 A-tier constructors. But last year, I finished in top 1,000 with 2 A-tier drivers and 2 A-tier constructors. That's what we really need to get to. Yeah, see, 109.7, you are sitting so pretty. And it's like, you've got to think about it as well, because I'm in sort of a middle ground area of my budget's good, but it's not as good as some people's. So I think I have to play the Piastri, Russell, Haas to make sure I get enough points if I'm limitlessing in Miami. Yeah, bim bam boom. I say we could even get to that before Silverstone then. I'm saying, what we saying? We could get to that by Spain. What we saying? When can we get to Piastri, Antonelli, Mercedes, McLaren? Because I know obviously the prices change and stuff, but if you get your B tier drivers right each weekend, changing them in, changing them out, it's a good 1-2 million extra each weekend. So realistically, if you're sitting at 109, let's say, bloody hell, you could do it after my... Nah. for the top teams, you could potentially be looking at after Imola, after Monaco, which would be quite interesting. That's actually a lot sooner than I thought it would be. I forget how low Antonelli's gone. To be fair, depending on what's it called? Depending on how well Yuki does in Red Bull as well, I don't think he'll become an asset anytime soon, but could also be a differential play for anyone who wants to try to sit on that. However, I don't think it is the play because it would happen like last season where you got to the 280er drivers with double Sauber and you sort of just got stuck on them. I think if you went Yuki, you'd get stuck on him for quite a bit. My team budget is sitting at 107.3. Is that good? Yeah, that's decent. It's not too shabby indeed. I think you should only really be worried if your budget is under 105 million. Because each weekend, if you get it right, you can get around 1.5 to 4 million in increases, depending on what your team's sort of looking at. So, bear in mind, 105 is realistically only 2 race weekends behind me. But anything below that, then you're starting to get about 3 race weekends behind in budget, and that could really damage you. Yeah, I'm thinking the same. Don't worry. It's like a trap, innit? It's like, oh, I could fit Yuki in. Don't do it. It's a trap. But what's it called? So if you're over 107, you're sitting pretty. Because, yeah, that means... Thinking it about me, I'm on 108.4, so not too far away from you. And if Jeddah goes well, Jeddah will be more of a maintenance goal. But let's do the maths. Because I've got nothing better to do, you know what I mean? Let's do the maths. Piastri, 0.3 million, 108.7. No, so 0.3 million. Russell, let's just say he gets to 0.1, 0.4. Hadjar, let's be nice to ourselves, 0.6. See you in a bit, my dude, see ya. You know where I'll be, don't worry. Hadjar, 0.6, 1 million. Number 4, who would it be? Ocon. Ocon, let's say he gets that minus 0.2 because that's realistically... No, would it be Ocon? No, it would be... It'd be Behrman. He'd get that 0.6 million, so 1.6. And then who was the last guy? Piastri, Russell... Hey, good stuff, my dude, good stuff. It'd be Piastri, Russell, Hadjar, Ocon. Yeah, so Ocon minus 0.2. So if everything goes well, driver-wise, 1.4 million in increases. Then you bring in Haas, 2 million. McLaren, 2.3 million. So if everything goes right in Jeddah, that's another 2.3. So 108.7 plus 2.3 is 110.7 million. And then if we then use Limitless, using the exact same team, hoping that now Ocon, with that, 0 or 1 points from Japan gets taken off. If we're now taking that as Ocon doing it, so that's 0.4, 1 million, 1.6, 2.2, 2.8, 3.1 million increase, if the maths was mathing. Let's just say 3.1, it's close enough. That would then be 113.8 million I'm on, and then we're at the 113.5 Piastri, Antonelli, Mercedes, McLaren. Now, obviously, that will change. It will go up a bit, considering Antonelli and Piastri will go up in price. But it'll be Antonelli we're looking at, same with McLaren and Mercedes. But then, that would probably mean, after Imola, if we get the same sort of thing, with even just a 2 million increase at 115.8, boom, by Imola, we have 2 80er drivers and 2 80er constructors. And then we're thinking to ourselves, ooh, however, do we hold it out for a few more weekends so that we can bring in the likes of Russell or Hamilton or Leclerc quicker? And then we're looking at potentially, by Monaco, Canada, Spain sort of time, having teams with like Piastri, Hamilton, McLaren, Mercedes sort of thing. So it's insane. It's absolutely insane. And Ozem, I'm glad you bring that up because... What's it called? Bortoletto is one of the ones where I was like, I really want to bring him in as well. Because he can't go down, like you said. He cannot go down. The issue I have is First of all, I'm not taking a -10 to go back to Piastri, Russell, Haas and McLaren. Second of all, Ocon, after looking at him again, I was very much like, oh, I kind of want to get rid of Ocon. He's going to go down, probably -0.2, potentially -0.6 if we're unlucky. However, if Ocon just gets 5 points, just 5 points in Jeddah, that would mean he's got 15, 5. Again, let's do some quick maths. 15 and 5, plus 13, let's say, in Miami. See you, Bear. He's gone through the cat flap. Oh no, he's looking at it. 33 divided by 3 is 11. 11 divided by 9-ish is what? Oh, bloody hell, that's too much. It's around that 1.2 area. So Ocon would need around 10 to 13 points to get a 0.6 million. However, to get that 0.2, he wouldn't need that much. He'd only need 6, 7 in Miami, which ain't too bad. Which then brings me to my point, which I was talking about Bortoletto with Ozem, is then if Ocon goes down 0.2 and goes up 0.2, I think he has more chance of scoring more points over Jeddah and Miami than Bortoletto does. So it's one of those things where it's like, ideally, again, Bortoletto has the edge on being safer. No matter what happens, he won't go down. But in my head, I'm thinking they're going to change the exact same amount through Jeddah and Miami. And Ocon has more of a chance to score more points. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking at least. What do you think? Because obviously also Jeddah, there's not many overtakes, so maybe someone like Bortoletto would actually be better from just starting 20th and then hoping for like an 18th or a 19th. Just get a couple of points. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, so Stuart, that will be in Jeddah. But then once we get rid of Japan's results, which is for Miami, which is when we really want to look at which assets can go up, we would have his 15 plus, let's just say he gets 5 in Jeddah, which would be a lot easier to go up in that sort of sense. So it's one of those things. Bit more risky, but you could get a bit more upturn in points. So it depends on what you want to do from that sort of thing. My team is at 107.3. Should I continue with budget building or try to score more points? Well, it depends, Lucan. Because what are your plans for the next 2 weeks? Are you limitlessing in Jeddah? Are you limitlessing in Miami? If you're limitlessing in one of the next 2 weekends, I would say go for budget. Also, sorry, I don't know what's going on. Oh, crap, hang on. Hang on. I need to make a quick call. I forgot to plug in my laptop and it's about to run out of charge. Ah, crap. I might have to take a 1-minute detour. Alright, no one saw nothing. No one saw nothing, alright? I need to just quickly go get the charger. Yeah, don't worry. He's still running, don't worry. He's still running. Still counts. Still counts. Don't worry. I'll go for 2 minutes extra over the limit. Right. No more worries, no more worries. Hop back on. Quick pit stop. Right, where was I? Right, yes. So it depends on what your plan is. Yeah. Because if you're not going limitless in if you're not using limitless in Jeddah or Miami, I'd say you can just go for points. Doesn't matter too much. Because then the next time you use it, should be pretty chill. But yeah, hopefully it's a good one. for Jeddah, because I'm a little bit worried looking at all of the overtakes that could happen. But no, I say all of. The little amount of overtakes that could happen is not looking very good, which I'm not too happy about. Also, you can see we are we're 58 minutes in. 58 minutes in. So we're sitting pretty. We've done half an hour. That's not too shabby. I can live with that. And also, I quite like this forfeit compared to the other ones. You know what? At least I'm being healthy. You know what I mean? Whereas the other one was literally just drinking Marmite with mayonnaise and soy sauce. Yeah, that was not very nice. So I wasn't too happy with that. I have to do so much work to get back to the laptop. But for everyone watching, you didn't see me take a break, alright? And I'm on the highest difficulty right now. I'll do that for the next 5-ish minutes. So we're chilling. But yeah, Jeddah, 25 overtakes last season. Apparently Ollie Behrman, obviously, in the Ferrari was most of them. So we'll see exactly what he can do, but obviously in a Haas, slightly different. I'm a little bit worried because I do remember, it was either Piastri or Norris stuck behind, stuck behind Hamilton for like half the race. And you'd think you could overtake at Jeddah, but yeah, it's like Bahrain in a sense. We got a lot of overtakes this time around, but we get 3 DRS zones, and somehow there's not a lot of overtakes. Like, how is that possible? Who knows? We're hitting a bit of a brick wall. I need to stop looking at the timer. There's still 55 minutes. Nah, we go all the way. Just got some post as well. I'll reduce it in nah, don't worry. That is not gonna happen. Like I said, I go on this bike like probably once or twice a week for half an hour stints, so nothing too crazy. At the minute, I'm listening to the Kooks. Whoops. She Moves in Her Own Way. So a pretty decent song. I don't know if you could see that. But yeah, you'll find out if I'm not here for the fan app video, innit? Because like I said, I'll be recording that in... it's 3 o'clock now. I'll be recording that in about 5 hours. Also, oh, this is a good one. What is the best track to use Limitless in terms of gaining the most points? And I believe... which one it was? The Chain by Fleetwood Mac or the dun, 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 dun. Or I could even have dun, 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 dun. Or the Dutch national anthem, bring it back to old school. No, right. Limitless wise, realistically, best points would probably be somewhere like Brazil if it wasn't raining, because we get a lot of overtakes there. And for some reason, we always have like a driver in the top team, always starting when they're not supposed to be. 2024 Brazil, Verstappen in 16th, 17 or something. What's it called? We had Hamilton in 2021, obviously, do his infamous charge from the back. Yeah, Ozeb, yeah, alright, so I get you, the newer one. Adam asks, yeah, I'm a Queen, I love Queens of the Stone Age. I saw them live back in the O2 at the start of last year when they were doing their In Times New Roman tour, which was really good. Songs for the Dead was insane live. And that was right at the end as well. Was it in their encore? It might have been in their encore. But yeah, it was really good. One of the best bands to see live. Just a little bit of bias from me there. But you know, you've got to be a bit biased every now and then. I'll put that on next, Ozone. Show you that I love you. Right now, I've got Jackson 5 on. Who else did I see live last year? No, it wasn't the start of last year. It was, my God, was it 2023? It might have been in 2023, November 2023 actually. But it wasn't last year, Jan. Last year, Jan, was when I saw Bring Me the Horizon and Bad Omens in the O2. I think it was actually O2 Arena November 2023. My God, doesn't feel like a while ago. But it was quite a time ago now. God damn. Right. Yeah, God, I put it on play next for you. I mean, you can't hear it, but who cares? I'll show it when it comes up. I already used my Limitless in China. My budget is now 103.9. Yeah, so right. So, Joaquin, this is the sort of thing I was saying where if you've got 105 million less, this is where you definitely want to still be pushing more budget-wise. So you still want to be on those Piastri, McLaren, Haas teams. But that's the issue. Maybe Piastri, McLaren, Haas, Antonelli. Can you afford that, Piastri, Antonelli? Because obviously this weekend there's not really 4 B-tier drivers that you'd really want in your team. I've got tickets to Oasis. Wow, how did you manage that, man? I swear they sold out in like minutes, I swear. What do I do with my 108.9 million budget? You keep growing that. You keep growing that thing. It's one of those things where sorry, my bad. Can't go with Piastri. Yeah, no. So I would say, even at 108.9, it's either you have a bit of hang on. You either go to McLaren Ferrari if you want that differential, or you just carry on building your budget, because realistically, like Michael said, we're going to start hitting those Piastri, Antonelli, McLaren, Mercedes teams around 115-ish million, I'm saying, because it right now costs 113.5. Also, oh shit. You can't see it properly, but hopefully you can see that. It's on right now. Yeah, Adam, that is crazy insane to get them. I'm proper jelly. But yeah, it feels weird leaving so much budget on the cards. But luckily for me, I think I can afford Piastri, Russell. Yeah, it'll be one of those teams where we look at in Imola, Monaco sort of thing. Yeah, I'm thinking sort of that thing. Is that what's after? It is, isn't it? I'm thinking, right, it's Imola, Monaco. Bro, of course. You can't not be, innit, Adam? You cannot be. You can't not be. What's it called? What Reading was it? Obviously, it's not Oasis, but they weren't back together at the time. I think it was Liam. It was Liam Gallagher, wasn't it? I saw him at I think it was again 2023 Reading, I think, because that was the year that Queens of Stone Age was supposed to be there, and then they got COVID, so it might have been 2022 actually. I can't remember, but Queens of Stone Age was supposed to be there, so we bought tickets to go to that, to the Sunday to see that. Then that got cancelled, but of course we still got to see Jerry Cinnamon, Liam Gallagher, Wolf Alice. They were all quite good fun. Who else did we see that day? We saw KSI as well because he was on that stage. That was quite a funny show, that one was. Right, anyway, yeah. I got 108.5 and I'm on the same team everyone was on last week. Yeah. So Julian, right. If you are planning to limitless in Miami, then you're going to want to do what F1 Fantasy Fuel was saying. What was he saying? He said, yeah, Piastri, Russell, McLaren, Haas, so that you get the budget increases maintaining in Jeddah, then limitless in Miami for them to go up again. Then you want, if you want to go for points, you stick with Piastri, McLaren, Mercedes. However, if you have enough budget, which I think at 108.5 you do, you could also use a differential of Piastri, McLaren, Ferrari. You can also look into potentially, what's it called? You can potentially look into Ocon down to Bortoletto as well, if Norris looks good. Or I don't think you can afford doing down to Bortoletto to get up to Norris either. But that's more just if that happens. And yeah, no, that is the issue, isn't it? So you're going to be leaving a lot of the cards. And also, Blur and Green Day, yeah. Another two banging bands. There's some great bands out there, I tell you what. Hang on. What's it called? Where's the comment gone? There it is. Feeling good this season. Rank 89k with budget building teams and only wildcards used. You are in the exact same position as me. I believe I'm 87,000th, if my memory serves me right. Could be 88,000. I know it's in the 80-something thousand. Could be 89,000 as well. I don't know. Also, I don't think he's in the chat at the minute. Yeah, but I opened a head-to-head season in my Discord because I was trying to figure out what other leagues could I do for just Zach GP, because I was like, obviously being on the fantasy formula, we've got that one on the featured league, but I was like, still want to do something. So obviously I've got the F1 Predict for that now. And oh, very nice, yeah. Yeah, you're sitting well pretty, I tell you what. After Limitless, come Miami, if you go with that plan, we will all be into the top 20k, I'm saying. And then it's only up from there, you know what I mean? Such a different season to last year, though, because last year I used no negative in China, Limitless in Miami, and I saved all of these points. So by that point, I was 124th in the world, come Monaco. And then obviously I got the Haas disqualification. I think, what happened? I don't think I had the Haas boys. I think I had maybe Perez. I can't remember. But then, of course, then Canada happened, and then it was just as bad. So it's more of a long haul season this year because of Australia. But it's one of those ones where it's like, we're still all gonna. I'm hoping as well to get back into the top 1,000. I want to beat. I came 886 or 866 last season. I want to beat that, but realistically, actually, this is something I'll ask as well. Realistically, I'll just be happy anywhere in the top 2.5k. This is what I want to talk about because obviously it's not a bad thing to have 3 teams. It's in the game. You're allowed to do 3 teams. But how do you all feel about having 3 teams in F1 Fantasy? Because I've always sort of thought the Team 2 and Team 3 is kind of useless. Because, well, for me, I use Team 2 and Team 3 for experimenting on what Limitless could look like, if I need to put Limitless in a thumbnail, or, you know, all of that stuff, if I just want to go for a crazy team. But I never really use... I never really use Team 2 and Team 3. And it's one of those things where it's like, you're allowed to, but... Yeah, you're allowed to, but I've just never really seen the point in... I like having it where the stakes are high, and I get you can only win points in your... You can only win, what's it called? The prizes with Team 1. But, like... what's it called? If you can only win the prizes with Team 1, what's the point in Team 2 and Team 3? Yeah, like you're saying, I like that of getting a strategy and owning it. Like, the stakes are so high when you go with something and you're like, that's the only team I'm using, that's it. And that's what I've done for the whole of when I've been playing it, but also because I have to use the other teams for other stuff, for admin, I guess. Adam says, my second team is 54,000th. At the moment, not quite sure how to keep it there. Oh, is that one of the ones where you've gone like points? What's the budget looking like on that one? So I think if you've got over 104 million in budget on that one, you're still chilling. Ocon looks like he needs to do really well to increase. Yeah, Ocon is... he's... I'll put up the resistance again. Ocon is the long game. Like I said, hopefully he just goes down minus 0.2 this weekend and then has the chance to go up 0.2 or up 0.6 in Miami. Oh, okay, yeah, you're just on the cusp of what I said would be okay. I said 104, I think. So I think you'll be fine, Adam. You'll be fine, but there will be obviously the charging balls of everyone who's got like 108 million plus now coming in. But considering a lot of the top 20,000 are also people who've used all their chips, you still should be fine around that. Ocon over Doohan Bortoletto is a no-brainer now. I would tend to agree on no-brainer being Ocon and Doohan, but I do still get the fact that some people would want to bring Bortoletto in. Just for, if there is a DNF, Ocon owners are absolutely screwed. Because that would be minus 0.6, 2 weekends in a row if he did that. That's the only issue. I generally think if I get a DNF in Jeddah, it screws things up quite a bit where I would possibly potentially have to look at not limitlessing. If it happened with Behrman, maybe we could get away with it. But anyone else, oh, it'd be really hard to just sit it and just let that take that minus 0.6. So if I go Piastri, Russell, McLaren, Haas, transfers for Miami, then activate Limitless, I'll get those. Yeah, so if you do those Piastri, Russell, McLaren, Haas transfers into Jeddah, stick with them for Jeddah, you get around 10 to 20 points less than a Piastri, McLaren, Mercedes team. Not too much. Yeah, Luke's got it spot on. That is why people are sometimes looking at Jeddah as a limitless. Because also, the top teams always score the best there. There's a lot of incidents. And if anything goes wrong, Miami's off the cards again. Yeah, it does make sense. And there's not much of a difference between the gap in limitless in Jeddah last year to limitless in Miami. However, I'd like to say on that, I don't know if people are using Norris in the limitless differences. Because obviously, Norris had a DNF in the limitless. And it all comes to play if Norris didn't get that DNF in Miami, the sprint race. Did he get a DNF or was it he dropped to 20th? It was one or the other and he got a lot of negative points for it. And that could increase the difference. That's the only issue. But yeah, where was I? Piastri, Russell, McLaren, Haas for Jeddah, then Miami. You keep those lot and then you do your thing. You do limitless. On my first team, I have 107.3. So played both my teams very different. Yeah. That's what I'm worried about. You know what I mean? Because we also saw last year our Lord and Saviour, Lance Stroll, the GOAT, the one who will save us all from the McLaren dominance, because Lance Stroll's the best. We saw obviously him crash. I think it was last year where he just crashed. He hit his tyre on the inside of turn 24, the one where you go just before the final straight on the lap, and he crashed out all by himself. And bear in mind, we have so many rookies this season that could just crash themselves out. We have Doohan, who likes to drive quite aggressively, which I'm loving. You got Mad Max at the minute, considering he's not happy with what happened in Bahrain. Potentially around 7th, 8th if that doesn't go well. You got Stroll in the mix. It just all sounds like something's gonna happen, you know what I mean? Which I would not be surprised. How much longer we got? 37 minutes. I think it was 37 minutes. Hang on, let me check my other alarm. Alexa, how long left on the alarm?
You have 37 minutes left on your full 13 PM alarm.
37 minutes to go, everyone. We are an hour in. Yeah, hour in. No negative in Jeddah. Huh? Yeah, you can swing past me. Wait, hang on, Luke. Wait, I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I've lost my train of thought. No negative in Jeddah. Is that a possibility? Yeah, it is. But again, I do think we'll have another Australia-esque track with the wet. So we saw it in Canada in 2024. We saw it in Brazil 2024. I think those are the sorts of tracks you want to keep it for. That's the only issue. So Merck to Haas and Ocon to Russ. Right, so here's the thing. If you have the budget, which I believe you do, it's not Ocon to Russell, it's Doohan to Russell. Because I can afford to keep Piastri, Russell, Ocon, Behrman and Hadjar with McLaren and Haas. So, yeah, hang on. Let me search up how many DNFs were in Jeddah last season. Because obviously we had Zhou as well. Zhou crashed out in quali, didn't he? Oh no, FP3 and then couldn't take part in quali. How many DNFs? Jeddah 2024. There was only 2 last season, okay. It was obviously the Lance Stroll incident and Gasly. So actually last season we didn't have a proper difference. Because Gasly also, I'm pretty sure that was issues with the car. And Stroll was doing Stroll things. I've got Piastri, Ocon, Hadjar, Behrman, Hulkenberg with McLaren and Mercedes. Yeah, you've got... Eesh. That Hulkenberg DSQ. But Piastri, Ocon, Hadjar, Behrman, that's fine. I see, that's why. It would be... Woo! Yeah, 6. You know what? I need to look at the highlights again and see if there was any big crashes. Because the issue is I do get what people are saying as well. The rookie errors as well. I've got the exact budget for Piastri, Ocon, Hadjar, Behrman, Russell. Aye, there we go. Yeah, well, we've been running on that triple Haas since Japan. A lot of people like me, so hey, well, actually no, I didn't do triple Haas last weekend. What am I talking about? But I did have double Haas. Right. What's Stuart saying? One of my boys is leading our private league with all rookies ×2. And Antonelli doing... He locked in from the start and doesn't plan on changing. Oh, Stuart, you're gonna rinse them by the end of it then, because Bortoletto they've lost budget on. They've lost budget on. Antonelli they haven't gained too much. McLaren Mercedes not too much as well. So I think their budget would be around 104-ish potentially. I think. So by the end of the season you're gonna easily win. How many DNFs do you predict for Jeddah? I'll go with 3. There will be a lap 1 incident, taking 2 people out, and then someone will either have a malfunction with their car, or or they'll crash out Lance Stroll style like last season. Would you like to have some fun with my team? My team is hang on. My team is Norris, Ocon, Behrman, Dew, and Hadjar, McLaren, and Haas. So Oz, what sort of fun are we talking about? We're talking about differential fun. Because if you want a differential, you could go McLaren to Ferrari. They're still looking good on increases, and then you got loads of budget there. And then you could have, then you could increase Ocon to Antonelli. So you'd have Norris, Antonelli, Behrman, doing Hadjar, and Haas. So by far, definitely not my favourite team. But if you wanted to go screw it, balls to the walls, see what happens, why not? I like Haas, not great in qualifying, and good pace. Yeah, good race pace. Agreed. I don't know how they managed to get both of them into the top 10. Obviously, brilliant strategy for Ocon, which worked out splendidly. I couldn't believe Verstappen couldn't get past him. I was looking at my telly, and I was like, how is this happening? How are the hards that bad? And obviously that ruined Antonelli's race basically as well. So Ocon drove magnificently. And then Behrman, I can't remember what his strategy was, but he managed to get into the top 10 and then obviously keep Antonelli at bay. So the guy's the real deal, I tell you what. Julian says Aston Martin will do something stupid and get a DNA. That's the only issue I've got with obviously Stroll's a no-go for the next few weekends anyway. But Alonso's someone, and we haven't really mentioned a lot this season, but he could really do something if he just gets 5-ish points in Jeddah. For Miami, he doesn't look too bad. So I'm excited to see what happens. Oh, okay, yeah. That explains it, Luke, yeah. I was so wrapped up in that Norris, technically good start, then the 5-second penalty. What a donut he is. And obviously this is why I'm here today, because Norris decided to get a 5-second penalty. Almost got another 5-second penalties for track limits. Then locked up trying to get past Leclerc. Couldn't find a space on the outside, fighting Leclerc. It is rubbish. And then of course, final lap, he couldn't even get past Russell. And bloody Norris, I tell you what. What's your team selection for Jeddah? At the minute, it does look like I will be following the Piastri, Russell, McLaren, Haas, just to maintain budget and... so I'm not saying the rest of my team, my bad. Piastri, Russell, Ocon, Behrman, Hadjar, McLaren, Haas. Because they look the best for maintaining and increasing budget. And then, what do you call it? Well, at least better than Piastri, McLaren, Mercedes. And it takes me 0 free transfers to get there. In the hope that no one DNFs. Because obviously, if someone like Ocon, Hadjar, DNFs, then I would have to say goodbye to the Limitless in Miami. Because I can't sit there and get a minus 0.6 2 weekends in a row. I would have to just hold Limitless until another track. Right, what else we got? Who do you think will win the championship? You know what? I said at the start of the season Norris, and I'll still say Norris for now. He's leading the championship. I know Piastri's been doing better, but he's got a good race in him soon. Because, yeah, he can't overtake for crap, but if he just sticks it in pole for one, and doesn't... No, but then he'd lose it into turn 1. Hey Luke, how you doing, man? This guy's really cool. You came up on my feed. When was it? 2 weeks ago, and I subscribed because your video just went crazy through the roof, and I love seeing other people make F1 Fantasy content. Because, bruh, the community's getting bigger by the day, which is insane. Which is kind of crazy, because I'm pretty sure we have less teams than we had last year. But the community, like, getting involved, like, how do I explain it? Like, people are becoming more hardcore with it, I guess. Which is really fun to see. And obviously, you get other people making content on it, and it's lovely to see. Because let's get real, it's such a good way to spend the weekend. Because I love the F1, but sometimes you can have the odd race like Japan. I say odd races, most of the races. Which, obviously, even in Japan, I was still excited to see exactly how the points were going to go and all that malarkey. Without the penalty, he would probably be P2. Yeah, so it's one of those things, innit? I'll stick with what I said. I'll stick with what I said. But I can easily see why Piastri's the new favourite. Yeah, and that's the issue. I'm suffering from success. However you want to say it, suffering from success, champagne problems. As a McLaren fan, I'm in a weird situation where my favourite driver left in 2016, Jenson Button. And technically, then Lando Norris became my favourite driver. But since Oscar Piastri's come in, both Lando and Oscar will never take the spot that Jenson was. I was hardcore Jenson Button fan, and then it was McLaren. But since he left, I've sort of just been a McLaren fan. So I'm now in a position where I want both Norris and Piastri to win the championship. So who do I support when one starts doing better than the other? I really don't know. My mind's saying Norris, just because I've been supporting him a little bit longer, obviously when he was in his rookie season. But at the same time, just because Piastri hasn't been around as long doesn't stop the love I've got for that dude. You know what I mean? So I'm in a pickle, but I'm in a good pickle. I'd rather have this situation than what it was in 2023 when I was like, who's going to come last, Norris or Piastri at the start of the season? Obviously not the second part of it, obviously. Because obviously after Austria, then that's when we got all of the stuff coming in. Yeah. Right. 25 minutes to go. I think we're going to be able to do this. Piastri doesn't have the high of highs as Norris, but it's so much more consistent. Norris tends to get in his own... Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it? He was doing the same thing at Bahrain, just saying he's got no pace and all of that malarkey. Because it's like, dude, get out of it. He knows he had the fastest car. Stop telling people you didn't have the fastest car. Get to work. And he could be happy with P3, I get it. But it should have been P2. He made way too many mistakes and it should have been P2. And look, thanks, man. Yeah, no problem, Luke. I'm happy to see it going well. Which was my first year and I've been looking for a new... Yeah, innit? It's such a great hobby. It's one of those things. I play two different types of F1 Fantasy. There's another one called Fantasy GP I play with my family. So we've got a whole family league in there. Play F1 Fantasy, of course. And I play FPL. Not as seriously on FPL. But, you know, I stick a team in every week. See what happens. And they're so much fun. Like, especially, like, the group chats go off and everything. You've got Discord. You've got Instagram. You've got all of these communities. There's always someone who wants to talk about it. Which is bloody brilliant. Whew. Right, change up this song. Because this is not a fast song. My god. Hey, what a song. Shit. Yeah. Alexa, time left on alarm for everyone.
You have 24 minutes left on your 4:13 p.m. alarm.
Right, I hope everyone heard that. If not, 24 minutes left. I'm sweating so much, but we're gonna get through it. Yeah, innit? Stuart, I'm the same here. It's the only thing where I'm just like, right, cool, boom, boom, boom. I could get excited for all of those racing and all of that. What hobbies do you do apart from F1? So, what else do I like? Big on my music, obviously. Well, it's not obviously for everyone here because I barely talk about it. but obviously that's what my degree's in. So I finished that in last summer, doing live sound and lighting. So like so I'm big on my music, sound production, lighting, all of that malarkey. Which obviously you don't see a lot in my videos because YouTube videos, there's not a lot of room for like big stage lighting and sounds. But I used to use like Avalite systems for shows at uni and all of that stuff. I used the Midas. Can't remember which one it was, but it was the Midas. Was it the Midas Pro 2C or something? I don't know. This is only going to be stuff people know if they know all of that. And yeah, Adam. Well, depends how you feel about it. But I do sing as well. I haven't been in a band for a while now. But I used to do a lot of band stuff as a singer, doing like rock sort of stuff, which was quite fun. But these days, love a bit of karaoke. I love going out as well. You know what I mean? I like going to the pub, enjoying time, doing all of that. What else do I like? Video games, of course. Big into my video games. You guys can't see it, but here I've got a Dark Souls tattoo. Bloody love that. I'm gonna put a Jensen Button Brawn tattoo here as well. Probably only gonna get 2. So I love my video games. I've been playing God of War recently. I play Balatro. I'm loving at work. Played all the Resident Evil games. I play like Dead by Daylight. Oh, look, Jesus. Dead by Daylight does my head in. I'm about to get into it again. Obviously, I'm excited to play Elden Ring, Night Rain, all of that stuff. Luke says, I'm introducing a whole new crowd into F1 here in Canada after moving here. Grown the family and friends league to 15. Oh, let's go. We'd love to hear that. How is it in Canada? Because one of my friends did something similar. He grew up in the UK with me, in London, and now he's moved to Canada last year. And I've heard good things from him. So yeah, hope you're enjoying it over there. Luke says, I also play FPL, and on another platform I play a lot of fantasy sports games such as football, cycling, tennis. Oh, nice. So much fun. Yeah, it really is, isn't it? I genuinely don't think I can go back to watching F1 without fantasy involved, because I always think, I'm always now thinking, let's watch that overtake. Ocon in my team, that's another overtake plus a position game point sort of thing. So it gets you really involved with the teams that you don't really care about. Because no offense to Haas, I don't really care how well they do. Realistically, before I was playing fantasy, it was really only McLaren I was interested in, and a bit of Williams, just because obviously heritage, but that was about it. But now, obviously whoever's in my team, I really care about who's doing well, so which is great fun to see. Julian says, I live in Vancouver, it's beautiful but crazy expensive. Yeah, I heard all of those prices were going. It's like here in the UK, isn't it? Prices are going rocketing. But hey, what can you do? You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Alexa, how much longer on the alarm?
You have 19 minutes left on your 4:13 p.m. alarm.
19 minutes, come on. Oh, I can easily do this now. We're on the final stretch. Whew. I was so putting this off today as well. Because I've made... Oh, actually, yeah, I should probably discuss that as well. So, this week... again, just because I couldn't think of a historic or what if video for this week. So I won't be doing a video for Monday and Tuesday, but I've made the script for everything you need to know about Jeddah, which is coming out on Wednesday. And obviously I'll record it, but I won't be putting it out till Wednesday because obviously stuff will come out which I may need to re-record. and all of that stuff. Stuff coming out Wednesday. Usual FPL, not FPL, F1 Fantasy stuff on Friday. And then next week, because we've got a break, pardon me. Because we've got a break, I'm going to do 2, again, probably Wednesday and Friday, but 2, two more like winter break videos I did. So I'll probably do a what if and a historic video again, or maybe I'll do 3, because I'll do another video about who's looking good or who's looking bad after Jeddah. So let's say Alpine are still 10th after Jeddah. I might have a little video on them, just saying what's going on, where they could improve and all of this stuff, which would be quite fun. Luke says, yeah, it's sweet. I'm in Calgary. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Alberta. The drives away. Oh, nice. Yeah, the Rockies are dope, man. Super majestic. Winters can be long and cold, but summers. I bet, man. I bet that is I bet that's well fun. I'm jealous, and then I'm just here in the grey UK. It's, yeah, London's starting to get a bit brighter these days. The days are getting longer, but my God, in winter, I'll go into work. At the minute, my work's normally, so I'll be working tomorrow, Friday as well. Wednesday, I don't know if I'm working Wednesday or Thursday, but normally it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because it's not 5 days, because it's security. It's not really security, it's more like manager stuff. So they're 12-hour shifts. So I don't really work 5 days a week on that stuff, which is great for YouTube stuff as well, because also I can edit while I'm at work and stuff. So there's plenty of room around it. That's why I'm sort of doing that stuff at the minute, because if I went into my degree, doing stuff like doing gigs or lighting or radio or theatre, all of that stuff, there's no time for F1 stuff. So I've always said to myself, I'll do another year or 2 full throttle of YouTube stuff while doing security and stuff, and then depending on what I'm doing, I can keep doing this, making a little bit of money on the side, and then maybe drop down to 1 or 2 videos a week and see what my career's saying. Or you never know, I might get lucky and be able to do this full time. But again, that's something I'm not really thinking about at the minute, because even if that did happen, it's quite a while away. So I'm thinking nice and realistic at the minute. But what's your favourite track? Adam says, what is my favourite track? Yeah, Brazil. 100% it has to be Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo is such a good track, and the racing we get there, the headlines we get there. For me, it would be my final race of the season. Now, I know why it can't be. Abu Dhabi, lots of money. But wow, what a race it is, isn't it? Luke says, do you think Piastri is a must-have in fantasy? He's around 6-7 million cheaper than Norris, but they're similar on points. Yeah, I agree. I also think because we're looking a bit more at what's it called? We're looking still a bit more at budget at the minute, so that the 0.3 million that Piastri could get compared to Norris, who looks like he won't go up 0.3 million this week, is too much to say no to. So I really do think that until Norris is looking consistently better week in, week out, so until I see Norris win 2 race weekends in a row, I won't be sticking with him, because that's the issue. But that's sort of the issue with both McLaren boys. Now, not Piastri as much, he might go back to back, but when you don't have an asset, like when it was 2023 and we knew Verstappen was winning week in, week out, fair enough. But with the McLaren boys, if you don't know Norris is going to 100% win, it's such a waste of money, like you said, compared to a Piastri who's cheaper, probably gets similar points, and yeah, well, that's it. There is no other, and his budget will probably go up higher. So yeah, Piastri for me at the minute is better. But we'll see, because obviously Miami, Norris first win there last season. Can he bounce back? Jeddah again. He was better than. Was he better than Piastri? No, I don't think he was. I think Piastri was better around Jeddah, wasn't he? What's it called? Do you think Piastri is a must-have in fantasy? Oh no, I've answered that. Yeah, yeah. And with Piastri in your team, you can move on faster towards Piastri. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Where if I had still had Norris, I would have 2 free transfers, and I'd have to take a -10 this week anyway to get to the Piastri, Russell, McLaren, Haas teams. Actually, yeah, I wouldn't even be able to afford it actually if I still had Norris. So it's one of those things, isn't it? Stuart says, "Gotta love F1." PPL from all over the world. Oh right, bro, my brain. People from all over the world watching. Zach rode a bike for an hour. I was chatting F1. Oh my, hey yo, dude, I am jealous. What, bro? I want to be in the Barbados. I want to be in Barbados. This is ridiculous. Oh well, isn't it? One day, eh? Oh gosh, I'm trying to think if there's anything else F1 that's like a headline, because Hulk DSQ wasn't too crazy because I don't think too many people had him in F1 Fantasy, so that wasn't too crazy. Oh, actually, I mean, I guess it kind of was because if Hulk didn't have the disqualification, then he would definitely be on my team. Yeah. Mate, I wish I could get to the Barbados. How great would that be to do an F1 Fantasy stream there? Oh, that would be the best thing, innit? F1 Fantasy plus beautiful weather. You'd be living life. Luke says, with Russell with lots of problems with the car, quite impressive he got P2. Yeah, honestly, I thought his car was going to give up on him. Oh, mate, innit? How insane would that be? I'm trying to think how many people in the fan crew there are. I should know this. I should know this. I'll have a look afterwards. Right, back to the Russell thing. Yeah, when they started saying, what was it they started saying? Russell said something about, was it his brakes he said something about? Or it was like all of the electronics just not working at all. It was one of those things where I remember hearing the team radio and I was like, this guy's not making it to the end. And bear in mind, he said he had long brakes. The brakes were going long. Then they were coming back to him. Wow. Honestly, that's why I think Russell, for me, like I said, he's got to be second place on my driver ratings so far this season. What's it called? With Piastri first and Verstappen third. Did I say Piastri first? Yeah, I did. And then Verstappen third, yeah. Because those 3 hands down the best. Yeah. And that's when I was like, dude, one corner where he thinks the brakes are going long and they're actually short. No, other way round. One corner where he thinks the brakes are short and they're actually long, and he's off the track into the gravel potentially, which is crazy. Luckily that didn't happen to him, of course. Yeah, of course, and then he almost got the bloody... he almost got... what's it called? The penalty, which is absolutely crazy. Thank God they didn't give it to him, because I'd have been really upset for him if he did all of that hard work and then got demoted to... what would it have been? Demoted to P4 if he got 5 seconds. Which, thank God he didn't. Because he so deserved that P2. But yeah, in the end, I was so scared. That's what I thought was going to come out at the end, not the Hulk disqualification. That's something I will talk about in my Everything You Need to Know videos, because it was again, what's it called? It was again something to do with the skid. the damage of the skid. It was just worn away too much. And are we going to see this as a continuing thing throughout the season where drivers could just be disqualified for this? The plank being worn too much. Because it's happened now twice. With Hamilton and Hülkenberg. Within a span of 4 races. If we get a disqualification every 1 race, every average 2 races is not normal in F1. I can't remember the last time we even had 3 disqualifications in 1 season. Luke says, if you could make some changes to F1 Fantasy scoring, especially towards the midfield drivers, what would you change? Straight away, Luke, straight away the one thing that I'm so adamant on, and I don't get why it's not involved, is qualifying does not give you enough points. 100%, because we have the issue of us wanting our drivers, our B tier drivers, to qualify 20th and make points over the race. So I don't get why there isn't even just like bulk points, where I get it, 16th to 20th don't deserve points. But then you could do something like 15th to 11th, even just get 3 points. That would be okay. And then even 3 points, or it could be 5 points. But let's stick with 3 points. Just 3 points would still make me happy enough to watch one of my drivers get into Q2. And then from 10th and above, you could give the exact same points, just give those extra 3 points, 3 or 5 points that you gave Q2 drivers. So 10th would get the, let's say it is 5 points. 10th gets 5 points plus 1 point for coming 10th. So that would be 6 points. First place gets the 5 extra points for getting all the way to Q3 and 10 points for coming first. That's all they need to do. And then all of a sudden, we're getting a little bit of a difference in how people think with how qualifying works. Because then all of a sudden 20th isn't as favourable. It still is pretty decent, but it adds a bit more to it. And then I also think the top 10, what else could change? Again, there should probably be more points below top 10 again. Yeah, you know what? Just stick it. Stick with it again. You could even do the exact same thing in the race. Oh, of course, Luke's hit it right on the nail as well. Right on the bloody nail as well. So you could do both that for qualifying and the race, meaning you don't get rewarded for doing terrible in qualifying. Fastest lap should not be 10 points. Put that down to 5 points straight away. Driver of the day should be 3 points. Beam bam boom. That's problem solved. And then also, I like... Hi, Elena. I like the... what's it called? I like what they used to have in Fantasy in 2022, I believe it was, where you had beating your teammate points. You should, even if it's just 3 points, even if you got just 3 points for beating your teammate, all of a sudden your B tier drivers become quite important, because then people like Alonso would become usable. People like Gasly become very usable, because you know instantly, now if Gasly comes 11th, 3 points in qualifying, 3 points for beating his teammate in a race, all of a sudden he's already got 6 points, and he's not even hit the top 10, and then all of a sudden you're getting fair distribution between each drivers. Yeah, all what Luke said. Yeah, P11 is so bad, and it's actually crazy. So yeah, those are a few of my thoughts on that. I agree with Luke as well on the DNF and DSQs. It's crazy as well, because I remember at the start, we all thought that disqualifications weren't going to now affect the driver. But then they were buckled down on that and went, no, it's still minus 20, but the constructors now get even more. So it's like, what? The constructor gets minus 30 from a DSQ now. So it's absolutely mental, but we'll see what happens. I also think they kind of pooped the bed on the free race average, just because I don't think it should be equal distribution. If they want to do something like that, they could do it, but have it like 50% of the distribution is the race itself, and then 25-25 for the last 2 races. Something like that. B tier drivers can take 10 races to get 25 points and then lose. Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's like how last season Albon, he didn't do crazy terrible in F1 Fantasy, but I'm pretty sure he still finished with negative points because he was just crashing out. Well, not crashing out, but having malfunctions also as well. Also, yeah, I'm very happy to hold you to that. Everyone here, make sure we remember that. If Oscar wins the championship, she's shaving her head. I've shaved my head bald once, and it was... you know what? It did my hair good for health and stuff. But bar that, I look like a crazy person. Luke says, for example, Science DNF, he was P8, so he classifies P20. So yeah, that's not too bad, you know. Yeah, because also, there's... Yeah, I like that. I like what Luke's put forward. I'm starting to get a bit of a stitch. Alexa, alarm, how long left?
You have 2 minutes left until 4:13 p.m.
We're almost there. 2 more minutes. Come on. All right. I'm going to go full out. Yeah, I completely agree, though. DNF and DSQs should not be as crazy as they are. Whew. Thank you to... Has anyone actually been here since the start? Stuart, you might have been here from the start. My God. Thank you, everyone, all for watching as well. And it was quite nice. Well, I mean, I'm completely out of breath and I'm going to need a shower as soon as I get off this. But, yeah, no, I want to see that. I want to see that. If you do that, if you're not in the Discord yet, join it and show a video of you doing it. Oh, that would be great fun. How many drivers do you think will be 4.5 over 10 races? I think Alonso, Doohan. I think Hulkenberg will slowly drop down as well. So I think 4 drivers potentially. Because Hadjar won't go back down to 4.5, I don't think. And that's about it. Take on Tsunoda. Yeah, actually, Luke, how many people do you think will be in it then? So I've put 4. Take on Tsunoda, do you think he'll be able to perform better? And how will the season go for him? I think he'll do all right. I think he'll get up to... it's because I've run out of water. What I think he'll get up to? I think he'll get up to P9, P10 in the championship. He'll finish on around 60 to 80 points, which, right, isn't a crazy amount. But with where Red Bull are right now and where they started, I think they'd take Tsunoda on 80 points. And I think someone like Albon will still beat him, though. So, yeah, go on, I'll put him P9. I think he'll do all right. But especially him finishing P9 is good signs on a race that was really not suited for Red Bull. Fuck me, how long is this? How long is this last 2 minutes? Take deep breaths. Hang on, that's the wrong timer. Don't worry, I set a timer on the my phone as well, but that was like a minute early. Yeah, it depends on how many DNFs will be, but I can see around 8 drivers. 8, wow, yeah. I guess. There it is. There it is. I'll drop the Discord in right now. He's done. He's done. Aye, aye, aye. Aye, aye, aye. Woo! He would do better. He'll still not be going in my fantasy team. Yeah, 100% agreed. Wow. And I've just realised how much I've been shouting now that I've taken off my headphones. Oh, God. Alexa, alarm off, please. Right. Where were we? Yeah, I'll put a Discord in this little chat here. So that if Piastri does win, we get to see the shave. Oh, that'd be great. Right, I need to get it off my most recent video. So I can't see the chat just for a second. Aye. You know what? I'm really proud I was able to do that. And that's what I really like about doing these forfeits as well. I like doing the healthy ones as well. Because I will admit, sometimes I can not be the healthiest geezer in the world. Because I love my kebabs. I love my kebabs. I drink a bit. So you know, it's good to have these sorts of things. Any ideas for next forfeit? Well, no, Luke. So I'm going to be recording my Everything You Need to Know soon. But I don't know. I know what hopefully that works, by the way. If it doesn't work, I'll get a new link up. What's it called? I know what the forfeit will be, and I'll give you a sneak peek on it. The forfeit will be a Ferrari on the podium, but I don't know exactly what the forfeit will be for that. Just double check it does work, because it's an older one. If it doesn't work, I'll get a new one generated. Because for some reason, I don't really know how Discord works on that way, but sometimes it needs... what's it called? It just needs loads. There's like this thing that it needs to make my habit thingy. 50 push-ups, mate. I said I'll do 100 before as well. Oh god, yeah, that's what I was thinking, Luke. Because I think I like going on my forfeit ones, the ones that have like they're hard, but they're still doable. You know what I mean? And I believe, yes, it worked. It worked. All right. Perfect. 150? Are you crazy? You're trying to get me killed. Oh, God. Well, anyway, everyone, thank you so much for watching me on this, on this an hour and a half long stream. I'm gonna now go take a shower. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. FanAmp F1 Fantasy video will be out on Tuesday, so keep an eye on that. My Everything You Need to Know will be out on Wednesday, and my post FP2 will be out on Friday. So, one last time, thank you all so much for joining me on this journey. Thank you everyone for the support. Shout out Luke as well. Everyone, go follow him on his channel. He's putting out some good stuff over there. And yeah, take care everyone. I'll see you all soon.